To kick off the new year, we're going to light some fists on fire and knock our opponents out with Garna, Bloodfist of Keld. Real quick before we hit the deck tech, because I almost forgot to do this when I was doing the intro record, don't forget my contest that's going on right now where you can win a copy of Mana Echoes. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel and make a comment on today's video or the one I did just on Saturday here where I announced the giveaway. And it says hashtag Mana Echoes in the comment somewhere. And I will use that as a way to pick your name out, and then I will try to get a hold of you, and we will get you your copy of Mana Echoes. Now, into the intros. Alright, this is my Garna Bloodfist of Keld deck that I've come up with. For those who don't know what she does, she is a 4/3 human berserker for a colorless, a black, and 2 red that says whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking, otherwise Garna deals 1 damage to each of your opponents. So what we're doing here is we're building around a kind of a semi-burn Rakdos Aristocrats build here. And if you don't know what Aristocrats are, it's where you're sacrificing your creatures, sacrificing your resources to try and further your game plan, which in this case is killing our opponents. So what we've done here is I've wrote the deck out how I usually do. We have our protection column, as I like to call it, or in this case, it's protection / get your stuff back. So we have things like Call of the Death Dweller, I can get back some of my cheap creatures and sacrificial fodder. Braid's Frightful Return, get stuff back. I can also use it as a sacrifice piece, and I can also ping them in the face. So it kind of covers all the bases I want to cover. Malachir Rebirth, protection to get it back from the grave if it dies in combat. Same thing with Feigned Death. Moving into the next column, this is all removal spells. Blood Chief's Thirst, Feed the Swarm, Heartless Act, Infernal Grasp. Just direct, just blow it up and get it out of the way. Fatal Grudge is a sacrifice card engine piece, draws you a card and then makes them sacrifice something too, so you can kind of get like a double up sacrifice with things like Mayhem Devil, which will be in the deck later. Kolaghan's Command, just blow stuff up, gets rid of artifacts, make them discard if you need to, return something from your hand, so it's a multi-purpose card as well. Bedevil, it's direct removal, but it has functionality of different types of removal. Baleful Mastery, sometimes you just need to exile something rather than just blow it up, like Elenda the Dusk Rose, which you'll see in the video. Languish just sweeps the board, same thing with the Meathook Massacre, and it also pings our opponents. We also have the card draw column, Village Rites, Deadly Dispute, sacrifice stuff, draw cards. Pretty straightforward. Black Market Connections, you get pinged, but you get treasures, you get cards, or you can get creatures. I don't advise using all 3 of them at once because that's a 6 life swing and it can really burn you out quick. Fell Stinger, you can use this to draw cards, or inversely, you can also just sacrifice something and burn somebody for 2. If they're just at 2, you can just shock them to death. Midnight Reaper, your stuff dies as long as it's not a token, you get a card out of it. It's pretty straightforward. And then this column is what I call the Aristocrat plan. It's all things that either ping your opponent when they die, or they help us further that plan in some way. So we have Serrated Scorpion, shoots them when it dies. Warlock class, if you deal damage to them, you get an extra point of damage each turn. And if you manage to pay the 7 into it to level it up, then they start losing even more life. Footlight Fiend, pings when it dies. Blood Artist, pings stuff when other things die. Priests of the Forgotten Gods, tap and sack 2 creatures, shoot them in the face. Fireblight Artist, sack a creature, shoot them. Stormfist hits them, it lets them draw a card, but it also hits them in the face. Bastion, your stuff dies, ping. Trespasser, removed from graveyard, ping. Gruesome Fate, each opponent loses 1 life for each creature you control, so if you get enough creatures out, this can hit for 4, 5, 6 damage in just 1 blast, and you can finish them off that way. Veto Thorn of the Dusk Rose, for 2 and a black, you get a 1/3 Vampire Cleric. When you gain life, target opponent loses that much life, and you can give all your stuff lifelink until end of turn. So this can be a big finisher card, or if you're gaining life off of little sacrificial effects, this can just give you some ancillary life drain at the same time. Braid's Arisen Nightmare, you can actually make them sack and you lose life, things like that. It gives you a sacrifice piece to work with. Sanguine Brushstroke, this is here because it creates a Blood Artist mostly, but it also allows us to sack blood tokens, and there's a few things that make blood tokens in the deck, so it's a good piece to have here. And then when you sacrifice a blood token, it deals 1 damage to them as well. Underworld Dreams, whenever they draw a card, they get hit. So if you got somebody that's drawing a lot of cards, this can really mess them up. Judith the Scourge Diva, all your creatures get +1/+0, and any non-token creatures that die, she can shoot them in the face. Mayhem Devil, we mentioned him earlier. You sacrifice something, ping, ping, ping. If you've been around long enough, you know how busted this card really is. Falcon Wrath Noble, it's the worst version of Blood Artist, but you get a 2/2 flyer out of it. Gixian Puppeteer, can't talk today. For 3 and black, you get a 4/3 Phyrexian Warlock. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. So if you couple that with the Black Market Connections or Garna's draw trigger off of things dying in combat, or off of your, what the heck is it? The Midnight Reapers triggers when those things die, you're going to get some extra little drains of life as you go along. And then when this dies, you can return another creature card with mana value 3 or less to the battlefield from your graveyard. So you got things like the Mayhem Devil or Judith. These things are going to die. People are going to remove them. They're going to die in combat. Whatever they're going to do. As long as they don't exile it, you can bring it back with this. Rankle, Master of Pranks, deals 3 to their face when you hit them with it. But it also causes them to lose life when you draw a card. You can make, sacrifice triggers off of it. There's a lot of things you can do with Rankle. Forge Boss, once a turn, you get to deal damage. I can't talk today. You get to deal 2 damage to each of your opponents off of a sacrifice trigger. So you can actually just take turns. As long as you have instant speed interaction or an instant speed way to sacrifice something on the board, you can sacrifice it to just keep going and doing more and more damage. And then Anya, Maid of Dishonor. For 2 of black and red, you get a 4/5 vampire. When it comes into play, or another vampire, there's a few of those in here, you get a blood token. But that ability only triggers once per turn. The big thing here, though, is pay 2, sack another creature or a blood token, drain your opponent for 2, and you gain 2. So again, it furthers the aristocrat plan. And if you have a couple of the death pinging creatures like Garna and a blood artist out on the board, and you sack them, you're doing 2 with her, and then you're doing 2 more with the triggers, and it snowballs. It's kind of a fun little thing to mess with. This column is what I would call sacrificial fodder / as good creatures in the deck. You got Gutter Bones, you can sack it, get it back. Grim Wanderer, you're sacking stuff, things are dying. This is just a good body to flash in. Jadar, Goldcaller of Nephalia, creates sacrificial fodder for every turn. Tainted Adversary creates sacrificial fodder. And the nice part is when the decayed zombies die, you're going to get a bunch of Garna triggers and draw extra cards off of them at the end of combat. Got Tenacious Underdog. He just keeps coming back. And the nice part is if you blitz it out, you're sacrificing it at the end of the turn, and it's going to deal damage because it's past combat. It's no longer attacking. So then it's just going to ping them for extra damage every turn. And you're going to get the card off the blitz. Voldaren Bloodcaster. Whenever one of your creatures dies, that's not a token creature, you get a blood token. So you're going to use this in effect with Anya, Maid of Dishonor. And if you get to 5 blood tokens, she flips over into the Bloodbat Summoner and gives you 2/2 black bat artifact creatures to throw at them as well. You got Bloodtide Harvester, creates a blood and you can sack him to kill stuff. Body Dropper, whenever you sacrifice a creature, put a counter on it, and you can pay to sacrifice a creature to give him menace until end of turn. Dreadhorde Butcher, 1/1 with haste for 2 that says when it deals damage, put a counter on it, and when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. This thing, for most opponents, is kill on sight, block it if you can, whatever, because if this thing starts making contact, it can run away with a game. Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger, 6/6, pay 2, comes out, makes them discard a card, and if it's not a non-land card, they lose 3 life, and you can escape it for 4 and exiling 5 cards from your yard. This is just a good little finisher piece later in the game, or it's a good way to just eat a card out of their hand at random. Like sometimes they're just like, oh, I only have 1 card left, and they're kind of squirreling it away. You're just like, get rid of it, and they might get 3 life out of them for it. Nighthawk Scavenger, for 1 and 2 black, you get a 1/3 that actually grows with the number of card types in your opponent's graveyard. Well, we're killing stuff and making them discard stuff, and there's just all kinds of things going on. So this thing can get pretty big, and it helps pad our life total against some of the elements in the deck that kill us. We have Squee Dubious Monarch. Kind of in the same vein as Croc, so we get an escape trigger here, but the nice part is we get 2 bodies with haste coming at them. If they don't actually kill him before combat starts, you're going to get a goblin token, and when both of those die in combat or anything, you draw cards off of them. So if they block both and they both die, that's 2 cards coming to your hand, as long as Garna's around. Lagomos Hand of Hatred. For 1, a black and a red, you get a 1/3 human shaman that says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 elemental creature token with trample and haste. Sack it at the end of the next end step. So what's nice is sometimes you don't even want to attack with that 2/1. You just want to let it die at the end step, so then the Mayhem Devil will trigger off of it. But if enough stuff dies in combat, you can tap him and search your library for a card, because 5 things have to die this turn. So you can actually do it on your opponent's turn. If they, send 5 creatures your way and you block them and they all die, you can activate him at the end of the turn. We got Grim Hireling. He creates treasures whenever your creatures hit your opponent, and you can sacrifice treasures to neg-X something on your turn. This is an all-around good card. Ebondeath Dracolich. It's reusable, sacrificial fodder, reusable damage, reusable whatever you want to call it. He just comes out and smashes face, or he can be just used to fire off stuff. My favorite thing to do with him is to feed him to Mercilessly and then bring him back, and we'll look at Ob here in a second. Kalidas, Trader of Get. Anytime your non-token creatures die, they get exiled, which is great. And then if you pay 2 and a black, sacrifice another vampire or zombie, you put 2 counters on Kalidas, and it has lifelink. So sometimes you just need to use that to prevent death triggers, or you can just gain your life back as you go. He works really well with some of the vampires in the deck, and he works really well with Jadar, because then you just sacrifice the decaying zombie token, and then you get a new one on your turn. Embersturm Predator, sacrificial fodder, feed it into him, makes him indestructible, or you just attack and just start eating their graveyard, and he just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and if they can't handle him, he's going to roll him eventually. And then we also have Garna the Bloodflame. I threw her in because she's with the other Garna card, and I thought it would be just kind of fun to put it in here. And sometimes you might get wiped, and you have this on hand, and you just flash it in and get all your stuff back. And then the last column is just some all-around good stuff that works well here. We got Rise of the Dreadmarn. 2 and a black, create X 2/2 black zombie berserker tokens, where X is the number of non-token creatures that have died this turn, and you can foretell it, so you can cast it for a black later. So sometimes your stuff's going to get wiped, they're going to die en masse in combat, whatever. You just, play this and you get, 3 zombie tokens back and just keep on trucking. We got Warhost Frenzy, 2 and a red with a kicker of black. Creatures you control get +2/+0. So, your generic +2/+0 to all attacking creatures. And then the kicker part allows you to draw cards when they die in combat. It's a good fallback position. And sometimes you can kind of get your opponent by surprise, nuke their creatures, and get cards out of it. And then Obnixilus the Adversary, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago. For 1, a black and a red, you get a 3 loyalty Nyxelis Planeswalker, Casualty X, which means whatever you sacrifice to him when you cast it, you create a copy of him. The copy is not legendary and has starting loyalty X, where X is the power of the creature you sacrificed. Then you get to +1, each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card, and if you control a demon or a devil, you gain 2 life. I've had him do 6 to 8 damage in a game between the 2 copies, just because they don't want to let go of their cards, so they're just going to get drained. And then you also create a devil token, which also can ping your opponent, and then you can sacrifice a sacrificial fodder. So that's kind of why he's over here. He's just he kind of falls in all kinds of categories. So I didn't want to put him strictly under one umbrella. And then -7, target player draws 7 cards and loses 7 life. Once in a great while, you're going to get something big enough, like you sacrifice Ebondeath. It starts out as a 5 loyalty Planeswalker with the copy. You plus it a couple times, and then you just neg-7 and just nuke their life and finish them off. Or maybe you need answers and you are high enough to survive it. You just hit yourself and draw 7 cards. And then your basic Rakdos mana base, swamps, mountains, all of the dual black and red lands, Command Tower, Fabled Passage, Forsaken Crossroads, Plaza of Heroes, and then Maestro's Theater is thrown in just because it can get both land types and give you a little bit of life in the process. That's the deck. We'll come back and talk about what I would change in the deck in the outro. For now, let's get into the gameplay. Isshin, 2 Heavens is 1. Alright, so it's a attack trigger harmonica. And yeah, we got a sweep, and we got some reusable creatures, and we got aristocrat stuff going on. And we can say hello. Why not? One of my New Year's resolutions is to be a little more outgoing. Not exactly the warmest person in the world. I'm kind of antisocial, as a matter of fact. But, you know. It's one of the reasons why I started this channel, is it's to kind of open up myself a little bit. Let's go ahead and play Underdog. And so far it's held, but... Alright. Oh, no swing, okay. Let's do Sulf Springs. Squee doesn't do me much good. Could nuke Isshin. Then... let's do the Black Market Connection. We're not gonna swing, because I can just eat it with Isshin. Thundering Rage. Okay. Hoping they don't put... okay, they're gonna put... Okay, I'm hoping they don't put the counter on Isshin, because then I can just sweep the board next turn. Okay. I'm okay with this. Alright, since I'm going to sweep, we'll block up... we'll eat up as much damage as we can. Treasure card, not making a creature because I'm sweeping. Let's go ahead and just play this, and we'll languish the board. So, since we're already down 11 points, we'll just go ahead and make treasure next turn. Whenever it attacks, if you control an artifact. Okay, yikes. Yeah, that gets big. Let's just create a treasure for now. I don't need the land. Let's do the tramway station since it comes into play tapped. And let's, because it'll get double big. You have 2 lot cards in hand. Let's go ahead and do Squee. I'm going to go ahead and swing. Alright, that's fine. And I'm going to end the turn. If they replay Isshin, I'm just going to Baleful Mastery the thing. Or I'm going to do that. That's fine. It can go away. No. No need to let that thing get bigger or whatever it's going to do. Alright. Let's go ahead and do treasure. I'm getting so low right now. I need my stuff that lets me sacrifice things, and I'm not getting there. Let's go ahead and get Falcon Wrath Noble online, because I definitely need to get the Death Trigger ping shenanigans going. And let's go get a land, let's go get a swamp out of the deck. Or actually, let's get a mountain in this case. I want to do Crocs. We'll make him lose something useful. And I'll get that life back. Alright. So we got Call of the Death Roller, which can get Croxa back for another hit. I'd rather have another 1-drop in there, too, just to get something out of it with this, but... Alright, there's Isshin. This is gonna hit for 4? Or... No, it's only hitting for 2. Oh, they don't control the artifact or the enchantment. That's why. Treasure only. This is suicide if I put this out. There's no way. I'd be killing myself. Let's put down the Bloodfist of Keld. I need cards, is what I need. And I'm tempted to do the Tenacious Underdog, I really am. But in this case, I think I'm actually going to swing for this, because Squeeze probably going to be the one that gets hit. Okay, and that's fine. We'll get a plank. And then... Ooh, Blood Artist, though, is tempty. Yeah... I think I'm going to do Call of the Death Dweller, though, on Squee. Because then I can get it down with both counters, and I'm going to go ahead and do the Blood Artist, too. I need as much life gain on the board as I can get. Because this will give me 2 if they swing off of Falconwrath Noble and the Blood Artist triggers. And it's 3 damage altogether going to their head, so... That also makes my creatures way more dangerous. I mean, okay. Take 3. I'm putting this right in front of Isshin. Now, I'm going to take it. I'm not letting Garna die. Unless they're going to have to work for that. So, now, this could get me in. I have to be at 2 or higher when all is said and done. Okay. Alright, just the treasure. Alright, they're at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wait, I'm counting backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Right? If I do Squee? Alright, we're going to do Squee. 1, 2, 3, 4. My brain is like, is this the math that wins? Exact season. Alright. We almost killed ourselves in that game. But hey, I'll take the victory. Queen Allenal of Ruadach. Well, so far today, we've not done great, which really is irritating because I was playing this deck. I'm at the mug in this because of the color and the mana base. I played this off camera, just to test it out, see how it would do and everything else. And I won like 5 or 6 games in a row, and the deck was doing like really good things. And I was like, oh wow, I really wish I had this recorded, but I wanted to make sure it worked before I wasted my time recording it. And now it's not doing jack squat, other than like I did a couple of decent games, and then I've just lost like 4 in a row. It's like very frustrating sometimes. Alright, let's do... If I had sacrifice stuff, I'd put that devil out, but I'm afraid if I put it out, they're just gonna... all they're gonna do is exile it with like a Banishing Light or something. I need to wait until I have something to throw out there to get rid of it. Because that Soul Ward needs to die. Swings. Just give me a sacrifice draw card or something so I can kill Soul Ward. All this life gain is really annoying. Languish is a thing. that we could do. And Languish is the thing that we're probably going to do. Because we really, really need that stuff to go away. Yeah. No attacks. Long wish. Tag action. And then we'll go ahead and throw down the footlight beam. Garna's going to do her trigger, so I'm going to lose some life. But that's better than letting all that stuff keep moving up. Wow. No lands in 3 cards. That's something. I mean, it's okay. I have lands in hand, but... Filer of Faith. That needs to die. And yet, I have no removal spells. Well, shite. Okay, Mayhem Devil. And we're gonna do mercilessly with Casualty. We'll sacrifice the Footlight Fiend. You can go away, and you can go away.
Enough of your petty notions of morality.
Alright, we're gonna -2 to create a devil here. We're gonna +1 for
Go
this.
sow some chaos. Defy me, and you'll lose everything.
So at least then that devil gives me some chump block action. Yeah, I see that this deck is all about the make a bunch of freaking tokens and make her big. So I'm sure they have lovely trample gaining abilities in this deck too. So I'm going to block here, and Ping is probably going to take on one of their one of them. So I feel like having them build up more creatures later. Let's do Judith the Scourge Diva. Let's +1 because I have a devil.
By coin or card.
And +1 here too.
Tribute is owed. Your punishment
And let's
is
go
my
ahead
entertainment.
and play Voldaren Bloodcaster. Because, you know, I can throw that under a bus. Yikes. You so sure about that? Yeah, I can do all kinds of fun little things to your deck, so I don't highly recommend that. Let's see here. I don't have enough black. God, that's annoying. Alright. It's -2, make a devil.
My goons will make
Also,
quick work of you. Defy me, and you'll lose everything.
they don't have life link on any of this. Let's play Garna. I'm gonna swing for 3 in the air. No, we're gonna keep her back. As much as that works, I want to keep things to keep these Mixelses running. Mixelai. Well, I'm glad I kept the Bloodcaster back. And then the Judas King will take it out. Okay. Let's go ahead and burn the blood token and discard the Emerald Dragons. And I'll go ahead and kill one of those. That's a thing. That is too. Let's do Lagomos. And let's do Actually, I might keep that Fireblade Artist back. You know, I can sacrifice stuff the next turn. Because I can always flash that in and take something by surprise. Let's +1 this one. And we'll go ahead and +1 this one as well.
Your punishment? Go ahead. Plead for mercy.
Because it's what? If a creature dies, they may not actually swing into it. So let's just do the Fireblade Artist. We'll create the 3/1. I'm not attacking because then I get the sacrifice trigger rather than it dying. Let's go ahead and take out one of these just because they don't get the rabble-rousing triggers going so hard. I mean, they're going to get it if they swing all out. So it depends on what they got underneath there, if they really want that rabble-rousing trigger or not. So what do they got? They got an 11/11. That's getting blocked. Yeah, a Cather's Call under that. So that's like whatever. Alright, so the 3/2 can block a 1/1. 2/3 can block a 1. 2/1 can block the 13/13. It's like, do I really care about taking 5? No. Or is the 5... Oh, the 5's going at Bob. And those are doing... That's 4 damage worth of value. I'm gonna let it go.
Don't think you're some big hero.
We're gonna sacrifice nothing right now. Okay, that's useful. We're going to... Do I plus or do I... Yeah, we'll plus it, because that's 2 damage straight.
By coin or carnage. Tribute is
We'll Trespasser. Soul Warden can go. We'll get that. And... Actually, swinging is probably better, because they can't take the damage, and if they kill something, well, they can just chump block with a bunch of 1/1s, though. So, it's not worth it. I'll go ahead and flash this in. There's no point in not doing it. I forgot about his ability, though. Oh, I can't do it unless 5 or more creatures died. Never mind. I thought you had to sacrifice a bunch of stuff. Well, here comes the YOLO of the day. Yeah. Block the 25/25, block the 27/27, block the 5/5, block a 1/1, block... Is there anything big enough I care about? No. No. Between Judith and Garna, that should be enough. Elenda the Dusk Rose. Alright, so little tokens, sacrificing, all that good fun stuff. A lot of similarities with our own deck, actually. I would be shocked if I don't see Jar in that deck. We're gonna do Underdog to keep the speaker from whacking. So... Though I don't know what that hand is. Now, that sucks, because he can put counters in that makes them indestructible until turn.
I will guard your advance.
Yeah, that sucks a lot. Now they can tap and gain life. Or, make stuff soon. Let's do Lagos. I want the advisory cat to bite the bullet. No sense in letting it keep stacking that speaker up. Great. They're at 7 already. Oh, this is just getting lovely. Alright. Let's play Kalidas. There's no point in swinging that. On the upside, I know they're not going to be swinging the speaker. Downside, I really got to get rid of this crap because, jeez Louise. Okay. So, what to do. I think we're gonna try to get... I'm just trying to figure out a way to bust through all these angels. I think right now we're gonna put up these two. And I got that Warhost Frenzy available. Now they might not bite the bullet here. Okay. We're gonna kick it because I want the card draw. Alright. Hmm? There's Elenda. Unfortunately for Elenda, I have Kalidas, so that prevents her from actually doing a whole heck of a lot at the time, for the time being. Let's go ahead and play Garna, and I'm actually going to put Jabbar down so I can get him along. No sense in attacking. Oh, my stuff doesn't exile though. Derp. Alright.
You require my aid.
That's a pain in the neck.
Get what I want.
I'm probably going to die to an angel token before I can get rid of it. So... shoot. I need... what do I need? Not to kill myself, for one. I mean... I guess we can swing both of those that way. I mean, she's gonna take the hit anyways and die from the trample. So.
Just all of you. Again, I will.
Why?
The weak.
It's a non-token. Crap. That's annoying. Alright. So... Fireblade Artist... and... Deadly... or Gruesome Fate? Just to get him away from that stupid Speaker of the Heaven stuff? Like, even if they hit me or swing with Elenda, they're not gonna get high enough to use it. Is that... no. Take action. Talk about frustration. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna sack that. And I guess we'll kill that. Because why not?
You failed to entertain me.
God, I'm so dead. Nope. Oh, Feign Death's nice. Again, I'm on a 2-turn clock here. This is not working out well for me right now. That Elenda is getting huge. Oh, it's gonna suck. But I think Footlight Fiend is... Oh, nope, they're not going to swing. Okay, I was like, the Fiend is about to hit the bus, but nope. And I'm on the backside of... Oh, crap, this is going to hurt. Screwed here because of all the life gain. Well, but that's also going to put a bunch of little 1/1s on the board, so. And it's going to kill me because of the damage. Oh, this sucks so bad. Black. I mean, I don't think I have anything on top of the deck that's going to save my bacon here. No. It's not a... It's not an answer. It's like, I almost have to swing Kalitas into this to even have a chance of living. Okay, we're gonna swing. I should have put down the Bastion of Remembrance. Is it mana value? Yes, thank you. Have a nice day. It ain't a good game yet. Dork Weasel. It ain't over till it's over, but I don't know how I'm coming out of this with that Elenda. Actually, I should have destroyed the helm in response. That was dumb. Yeah, Fireblade Artist. Yeah, you're bussing it. Oh, do I destroy this in response? Yes, I do. Yes, I'm sure. That way they're not gaining life off of it. Alright, play this. Play Bastion. Play... Do I do Kalitas again? Yeah. Don't care at this point. Have to do something or I'm just gonna die. So... do Midnight Reaper. I mean, they're gonna gain life. I have no way of stopping that life gain this time. And it is what it is. No, that's not an answer. I need a pair of answers. One, two, three, and bus. I just so screwed right now. Because I need a direct removal spell and a board wipe. I think I can activate that. That would do it. Is this on death or is it exile? She dies, so I can exile her and get rid of all that. So we'll do a Baleful Mastery. Braids can come down. I'm gonna hang on to that Baleful Mastery so that when the trigger for Helm goes on the stack, we can exile it out of the game. So Lagomos's thing is going to come out. We are not attacking into the 5/5. We're going to end the turn. Braids is going to sacrifice the Lagos token. And that's fine. I'm quite okay with that. Because I can kill 5/5s all day, or 1/1s all day long. Okay. We're okay with that.
Let us march into battle and make new comrades.
Alright, the trigger's on the stack. Not giving them a card. Go away. Is the creature's no longer equipped? No. 3, 4, 5. Oh, thank you. I can do Lagomos again. Block 1, 2, 3, 4. I will have to lose Jar to do it. That's okay. I'm actually kind of okay with that. It also gives me cards. Resolve. If I somehow pull out of this freaking nosedive, it'd be a miracle. Right. Oh, they gave up! Dang it, that was a good game, too. Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. I have not seen that one in a good while. And yeah, this is a good opening hand. We're actually going to go turn 1 Serrated Scorpion. And then I'll drop this next turn with the Footlight Fiend. We'll go ahead and keep that just because of mana issues we've seen so far. Had some on and off where I'm just not getting color or whatever. I mean, I have plenty of mana, but once in a while you just get kind of screwed. So let's do the Bloodcaster. That way if they start blowing stuff up, at least I'm getting blood tokens out of it. Alright, let's get Garna up. Might have an off to the races type thing where they get set up. Yeah, I'm not overly concerned there. Let's do... Yeah, let's let's go ahead and swing. I don't want him scooping. And then we'll do this. Came in for a long time. Wondering if we're probably gonna nuke.
I've learned
Garna,
much during my travels.
and that's fine. I'll just replay her
I am almost sad to see you go.
if I draw a land. Did not, in fact, draw a land. Alright, well, let's send a pair of these guys at her and everybody else at face. Because I can't kill them outright even if I swung everything at their heads, so
Until next time, then.
these are dying. And let's go ahead and play Priest and Warlock class. And turn on Warlock class. Got Squee up in here. Let's do it. Spellstinger might have been a better play, but based off my current board state, I like to swing without, because I don't have anything to exile out of the yard to get him back right away. And I can use Call to Death. So either way, I could have got Squee back. So Amelia, oh. Alright. So let's see, if I make him sacrifice that, that's 5, 6, 7, 8 damage to the face. 9, 10. That might be lethal. Let's do Squee. Let's do Fatal Grudge. I'll sack the Scorp. No, that'll be a 1. No, that's his accident. Perfect! That's the best game we got out of this deck all day. I've been trying to get that thing to work, and I can't get it to work as a commander. Ooh, Dreadhorde Butcher. First time I've seen that today. When I was doing testing, every time I got the Butcher, I won those games because it's just so damn good. I'm not gonna keep that because right now I'm on a 2, 3, 4 curve, and let's see how well they like losing their mana to it. So we got... Well, it looks like it might have slowed them down. Oh, I played the wrong land. Shit. Well, pay attention to what you're doing. Don't do what I did. That was a mistake. I should have had braids down. Alright. So let's go ahead... Let's go ahead and play Garna for right now. Because at worst they fight it, it goes back to the command zone, and I'm not that concerned. Alright, they get a Kura, which is fine. Let's play Sulphur Springs, and let's do... do Grim Hireling. They don't block, I get treasures. If they do block, I get to kill Kura. And I have a Feigned Death available. I think I'm gonna do this to see if I can pull Kura down. So... decline. Be careful doing that. I've done that before where I put it in the command zone, and if you do that, you don't get the feign death. So I've already made one screw up this game. Let's not make two. No, I think I'm sensing a fight spell. Oh, it's a Scoos. Okay. Just a Scoos. Alright, Garna's gonna go in, I think. Okay, they do not have the 7th land to block with the Topiary. Okay. You can kill Garna, but you're also going to lose your Scoos. Taketh the action. I'm going to pay 2 life, I'm just going to replay her. Because right now I don't want to sacrifice anything to the Innistrad Predator. Oh crap, they have Argoth. The question becomes, do they have... I'm going to go get a swamp. Do they actually have 4 lands in their yard? No, they only have 1. So... can't do the melding trick yet. I guess I could have looked at the stupid number on the card, but didn't think about it. Alright, let's... I don't want to do braids, because if they start sacking lands, they want that. So let's just go ahead and do... Predator... and... Stomper can block now, so doing Garna is not a great idea. We'll do braids, but I'm not going to sacrifice lands. Declining, because I don't want them sacrificing lands. And that's the inherent flaw with Titania. You want to be sacrificing lands, but you need to have either the sacrifice lands in hand, which they've only gotten a bunch of snow-covered forests and Argoth, so they're not actually doing anything with it. It's like, okay, you're playing a bunch of lands and none of them go to the graveyard. So unless you get a Scape Shift or a Roiling Regrowth or something like that, it doesn't matter. Anything in my yard worth a dang? So I guess for now, we're just going to do... I'm not going to make them discard a card, because they could discard a land. Let's just go ahead and do this straight. I mean, it weeded a land off the top of my deck. I guess that's about the best I can say about it. We'll go ahead and swing with the Innistrad Predator. And I'm going to take the Kura out of their graveyard. Must have decided it's not all that in a bag of chips. Alright, so they got that on it. I'm going to sacrifice Braids, because again, I'm not... You only get that trick once, so... I'm still not 100% sold on Gruesome Fate. I mean, it can do, 4 or 5 damage, which is pretty good for a 3-mana cost card. Okay, they're at 2 lands. And they got a bunch of 4 and 5 power creatures, which is not good for me. Shigeki, so we gotta wait for them to mill cards too. This is like the one deck that I would probably want to have Field of Ruin and that kind of stuff. I started taking them out of my decks because they just weren't doing anything. And it wasn't worth having them in the deck. It just screwed my mana colors up. That could be something. Because I could trick them into killing their stuff. Let's go ahead and Gruesome Fate. I want to take a chunk out of their life total. And we're going to do this. We're going to swing. I'm going to take out their Skoos. And then, depending on how they block, we're going to see what kind of thing we can get out of this Warhost Frenzy. Oh, let's do this. Or do I kill Shigeki? And now we'll kill the Stomper. We'll kill her. Whip the kicker. So I get to kill Gaea, Titania, Titania Stomper, and hit them with this, and deal an extra damage. Oh, and I get 2 treasures because I did do damage. Oh, there's a priest. Oh, and a languish. And that is something. Let's... Go ahead and play the Black Market Connections. Because it can net us extra cards, treasures, and all that. And if they want to use that Boseiju, I'm okay with that. It's taking an extra land out of my deck. So... So that knocked her down, so she can't meld this turn. She's got to die this turn, though. So I'm probably going to swing with the Predator, and then I'm going to languish the Lord, so I can get rid of her, so she's not melding next turn. Hey, go ahead, play more little guys out. I am all for it. Ooh. That's pretty good to go with that languish, though. Let's do this. We're going to get a nice chunk of damage in. Rex Sage can go boof. Don't need them coming back. Languish. Resolve. And then I'll give you 4 triggers of Blood Artist. Go ahead and end the turn. I can get rid of the Priest because that's not going to do us a lot of good here. And it'll give us another damage. It'll put them at 8. The Immersturm can swing for 7 next turn. Yeah, I really don't care about that card. I'm not so low that I can't just be aggressive here. So let's go ahead and do this with our mana, because it takes too long for her to get online and do anything. Nope. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, we have options here. Let's go ahead and swing with the Immersturm Predator. Let's go ahead and nuke the Elvish Reclaimer. They're at 1. Let's go ahead and do Mayhem Double and sacrifice this, sack the double, and shoot the face. And GG's. Huzzah! Recovery from my misplay of the lands earlier. All right, well, let's do a quick outro here. Things I would change. First off, I would put Burn Down the House in the deck. I mentioned it in one of the games. If I don't even know if I'm putting it in the footage, but I really needed to burn down the house to save my butt, and I did not have it in the deck even. I didn't even realize it. I thought I had already put it in there. So I would add that to the deck. I would probably take out Body Dropper. I would probably take out Underworld Dreams. Warhost Frenzy is okay, but it can probably go as well. There's just a lot of things I would... There was little nicky things I would take out of here, just like change it. But so far, I like how it plays. I'm going to work with it a little bit. Might revisit it in the future. Put some more elements in there where we're pinging people and just controlling what they're doing on the board in order to eventually just roll them out of the game. But with that said, I had a lot of fun. If you have the cards laying around for this one, I highly recommend playing it, and we'll see you in the next video.